Hello, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me, as well as Osprey and Cameron, who I'm joined with tonight.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Did a little bit of audio reworking, slightly, so if levels are off, please let me know. I think we're good
I should
beyond that.
probably
Else is set up.
make it so I can see chat.
All right. Yeah. So the goal tonight.
We're starting off with a classic, a Rathalos.
Yeah, we're gonna start off with Rathalos because that is one of the key quests. Because I realized earlier that I don't have the key quest for Astalos yet, so I'm gonna get some of the.
Oh, I don't
quests out
either.
of the way.
Oh shit, really? We're caught up? I'm ahead of you.
Yes. Yes, you are. I haven't, had the brain power.
I got
in
up
part,
all of that Astalos.
So, Washington and Oregon are in the midst of, huge heat waves, so I've been, hiding from the heat. So...
Yeah, you were saying, I guess, and it's similar to where a lot of places don't have AC.
Because, so, when I was growing up, it was a big deal if it got into the 80s for weather. And then now we're getting up into the 90s in the summers. And it's yeah, no, this is not what it was when I was growing up. I've lived in the same area pretty much 30 years. So...
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting and unfortunate to see how climates and things change faster and faster.
Shanice, I'm also doing audio and all the streaming, so it'll be a second.
Yeah, Tom's in the hot seat now.
I am.
He's running the show.
There is more fun with OBS scenes.
And as you can see, our production value has immediately gone up.
By
and
1%.
Next week, we're not going to announce it this week, but if you look on Reddit, there is a charity thing happening that we as Monster Hunter players are going to try and participate in. So hopefully next Monday's stream, people will see our first announcement and think with that.
Yay!
Yeah, it should be fun.
Because we've definitely... life's been pretty hectic for everyone on Arbitrary Hero in different ways, some a lot worse than others. So I know we haven't done our normal extra life thing, but we'll be hopefully trying to do some sort of giving back over the next few months in some different, maybe smaller ways.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice to see more of the Monster Hunter community come together for stuff like that.
Oh, and I have now tried Dongo.
Oh, actual
in real
Dongo?
life. Yes.
Tell me, because earlier you mentioned you had been able to, you went back to the Pacific Northwest, and the first thing you did was you had teriyaki salmon.
Yeah.
I assume that your teriyaki salmon was way better than my teriyaki salmon experience. And I think it has not much to do with teriyaki salmon itself and just the place that we chose to go to. The Achillean, first feint of the night. You know what? No problems, bro, or sis, or other. It just better you than me.
That's garbage.
But
well, the reason is we're fighting Rathalos in this fucking alley. Let's get the hell out of here. Sora's got the right idea.
That's what I've been saying for a month now. We keep fighting them in hallways. I'm like, yo, let's move out.
It's that Darth Vader moment in fucking Rogue Squadron. Rathalos just lights up a red lightsaber in the alley, like, oh, we shouldn't be here.
We could go for cover, or we could just fight him in this unprotected hallway.
But yeah, salmon teriyaki is one of my go-tos.
How much sauce is on when you get salmon teriyaki? How much sauce is normally on it?
Depends on the place. It's kind of like any other teriyaki in that regard.
I guess in teriyaki in general, because I don't eat a lot of teriyaki. I think it was a very big thing in the early 2000s in our area, and then restaurants kind of moved away from it, and I never developed a big taste for it In fact, I would say that I may never have had good teriyaki. So my experience is like a very soupy, sugary sauce that essentially drowns out the protein. And I'm betting that's not what it's supposed to be like.
Yeah, no. So some of the best teriyakis I've had have like pineapple juice in the sauce.
Ooh.
But they're still very thick.
Yeah, that's I think what I'd expect, and this what I had recently was not thick. It was essentially like in my mind not quite like a barbecue sauce consistency, but closer to that. And what I actually had was a very runny soupy sauce.
Yeah, soupy sauce.
Yeah. Hey Black Knight, how's it going? Black Knight recently killed 20 Gormagala.
Nice.
Black Knight's guild card title is Gormagala is Shigaru Magala.
Say the line.
Spoilers. Spoilers! Tom, can you go ahead and ban Black Knight for spoiling it?
I already got my hands full over here. Trying to remember how to hunt after playing MMO for like 6 days straight.
So Cameron, tell you what. Next time you're in the area and we hang out or something, I'll take you to a beach. Like that.
So, I will be in Seattle end of October. We'll be visiting. Oh, you'll get to maybe you and Fox can meet Raheem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet.
So, I guess this is me doxing myself, but whatever. October 24th, I'll be in Seattle.
Eat. That'll be nice. I want to see y'all.
That's the benefit of my cis, whitish male privilege. I don't give a fuck about my identity online.
Yeah, there's a reason I use Osprey instead of my accent.
I have not been paying attention to chat. Oh, hey Cheryl, how's it going? Hey Shanice, hey. Hi, hello, how are you today?
Also, the red bubble design I did today,
Yes.
was inspired by water, because I have been the times I've been with have a hot tub that if the temperature is coming down on.
Great. Since Tom is hunting right now, can you link the Redbubble link in the Discord chat so people know what you're talking about?
I'm also.
Oh, okay. After this talk, we'll link Osprey's Redbubble. So he has been hard at work. What did you say? You recently hit 30 designs on Redbubble?
Yep.
And I have never used it before. Can you explain the concept of Redbubble to lowly Cameron?
I wouldn't say lowly. So the idea is you upload the designs, you tweak some settings to make them work better on, and kind of choose which products to put them on. And then when somebody orders the product with that design, Redbubble prints it basically on demand, and then ships it to them, and like the artist gets it.
Yes, so Redbubble, they have, I assume, a factory and a supply chain that makes a fixed catalog of products. For example, you mentioned magnets, and I believe mugs, and I'm assuming t-shirts, mouse pads.
Yep.
That's
wall
sort of
hanging.
stuff.
Yeah, they even have backpacks.
So my assumption for their business model is all the products they make are from the same. Tom, do you want to cap in or kill?
Either's fine.
Okay. That's up to you. If you're, I don't know if you were trying to get like a mantle or something.
I mean, not specifically, but
Okay. So my assumption is Redbubble, they don't change the products they make. but their supply chain is designed in a way that it's versatile enough that they can put whatever designs on those same products. So someone picks one of your designs, and then they select the product they want it on. So, for example, a plate, they could pick a plate, and then they could be like, this is going to be my breakfast plate, and it says, don't worry, eat waffles.
Or in, so they don't do plates, but the item in my shop related to waffles is don't feel awful, have some waffle.
That's the rhyme. As you can tell, I am not a poet.
One of my friends really likes, my friend really likes waffles, and I've been watching a YouTube channel called Drawing with Waffles on top of that, so waffles were on the mind. But yeah, they have a few different things, and basically you can like select the design and look at different products that design is offered on, or you can go to a specific product page and they'll do like a preview image, so you can have kind of an idea of what it'll look like on the product.
So looking through your design, so I see don't feel awful, have some waffle, I love it. What stands out to me? So I like the Guardian Swords design a lot.
I like the header image a lot myself. The blue with the, I think it's blue and white if I recall. I don't have it open right now.
Blue and white. Blue, white, and black?
Yes, yeah. I like that.
That one is my shop banner one. And I have a very colorful one on there that was a specific request from someone.
Where is oh, I like the Catan one. I assume that's Catan. 6 on sheet, 4 on wood.
Yeah. Oh no, that is actually Age of Empires, and the idea actually came from the Atomic.
Oh.
It's part of a build order thing. I don't play Age of Empires, so I don't fully understand. But that one was also a request.
Diablos or Mitsune, Tom? Have you?
Ooh, I haven't done Mitsune in a while.
All right, we'll do Mitsune.
Is that one of the keys? I didn't realize that.
It is a key.
Ooh, okay.
Key to my heart.
I love Mitsune. It's been a while since I've usually just been like picking stuff that I haven't done yet.
I also really like Radiant Bloom. That one's very pretty.
Yeah.
I don't see the Vire one.
That is the fire one.
Oh, for some reason I thought it would say Vire on it. That's why it like stuck out to me. No, okay.
So I'm trying to avoid copyright infringement by keeping things somewhat generic.
Gotcha. Is Vire? I guess I didn't know. Is Vire's name inspired from somewhere?
No, but I didn't want to out and out say, hey, this is a D&D character.
Gotcha.
And Radiant Bloom is something random people who come across my shop are going to understand. So yeah, that's why it's called that. And I thought the name was really fitting because he's kind of starting to figure out who he is and the amount of divine connection in his life. Oh, hi, Boom Headshot. So yeah, if people like D&D, that the Radiant Bloom design is inspired by it. Like,
I dig it. And speaking of D&D, I know we on Monday we got it was a bit hectic in terms of chat and everything. But we did recently beat Chapter 5, and if I remember correctly on Monday, unfortunately, with our voice chat and everything, you didn't get a chance to actually talk about what we did in Chapter 5. But Vire has an interesting question that I need to come up with an answer to. I got to figure that one out.
yeah, because so Fire still has the Shardolin poisoning from his fight with Frostclaw, which I honestly keep forgetting he has. So I'm just going to say that's why he was kind of rude to John's character. is about the whole being a paladin of wolf thing, which I I actually am kind of surprised that's legal in AL, because Loth is an evil deity and evil alignments aren't allowed.
So
Um,
his alignment isn't evil, and I technically, it's weird, but in Dungeons and Dragons, your alignment does not have to match your deity.
okay. I
There we
just
go.
was kind of surprised that was because how strict AL can be about some things. I was like, huh, okay, but yeah, that's my excuse for why Vire was so rude.
I dig it.
Was was the Chardelin poisoning, and he's going to ask Professor Scant how to cure it if he knows.
Yes. So I'll say Scant, like the adventure's pretty specific. Scant is like kind of an encyclopedia. He knows about specific things, but I'm trying to think of if there's an interesting way to not just say no, he doesn't know anything. If there's a more interesting way to handle that. So I'll come up with something. We got time before the next session for me to flex
Yeah.
my creative
Are
muscles.
you talking about like if player characters don't know like certain things?
So Professor Scant is not a player character. Professor Scant is a professor orb,
Oh,
which
cool, I know
is
those. Yeah.
a magical item that's essentially like a little magical Wikipedia on specific topics.
Yeah.
He is a named professor.
Yes.
He is a magic item that is in general stuff.
Yeah. And Professor Scant is in Rime of the Frost Maiden. He's Valin Harpel's Professor Orb that she's loaned out to the adventuring party. Which I've been enjoying since we've been playing a bunch of different adventures in the Forgotten Realms. I've been recognizing names and stuff. So like Valin Harpel, the Harpels are actually like a famous wizarding magical family.
Oh.
So in our play-by-post campaign, Yasandja has been given a not a pseudonym, but a false name to go as a Harpel. So she gets some of the benefits of like their reputation, things like that. The other one I had fun of, Osprey, you know Mert, correct?
Mert.
Mert, the Merciless from Spelljammer? Or maybe not.
No, I don't. Not yet.
Oh, okay.
It's a chapter, I guess, campaign. Session.
Yeah, it's like a 4-session campaign. So yeah, Tom, you know Mert then.
We just met him actually, so I know of him. Yeah.
So Mert is also an NPC in. So while he's doing this Spelljammer stuff and he's running across the stars and everything, he spends a lot of his time when he's on Faerun in Waterdeep, and he is like a main NPC in our Waterdeep campaign because of that.
Oh, cool.
So I saw Mert's name in Spelljammer Academy, and I was like, that's a funny name for two people to have. It's kind of unique.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the character art, and I was like, oh, it's the same goddamn guy.
It's like a Volo. Volo's in like a bunch of places. I think Volo's even in Baldur's Gate 3 too.
Yeah.
So, I misheard the name. I know who you're talking about now, and yes, I have. I just misheard the name.
Oh, gotcha. What else? Baron Strahd is going to make a cameo in our Domains of Dread campaign soon. I've been prepping the Barovian adventures. There's 2 adventures that take place in Barovia, and Baron Strahd is going to show up, even though he's not like the big bad guy. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. I've
been
a few.
Oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
I have a few games coming up that I'm a part of in the channel, I think. So I'll have more to talk about for D&D, I think, after this weekend.
Yeah.
I think I have a game on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, maybe.
Oh damn. I think I also have a game each day of the weekend, and this has to be the last weekend I do that. After this, I'll try and stick to 1 on a weekend, or at the most 2 once Waterdeep starts back up.
Yeah.
But I've also been solidifying longer term plans. It looks like, and I'm not gonna. Tanner is not committing to this yet, but it looks like Tanner is intending to, after the Fangs of Watali, he's intending to run a campaign, and I think he's got a short list, and I don't know all of the short list, but 2 of the adventures, one would be Wild Beyond the Witchlight, and one would be the Call of the Netherdeep. So potentially one of those happening.
Which one's Netherdeep?
That's the Critical Role campaign, the new Critical Role campaign.
Yeah, we talked about
Hi,
that,
David.
I think, on Monday, right?
Hey, David. Say that again?
We talked about that on Monday, didn't we? Or no, maybe you were talking about the other one.
I talked about Call the Netherdeep and how I would never run that campaign.
Yeah.
The Achillean, good job. Keeping it consistent. Appreciate it.
It's like, they're like the lightning rod for all the chains we had last time.
Listen, every party needs a tank.
See, that's the thing.
We've
I do
got
want
ours.
to do like a diversion build, even though you don't need to do that. I just want to like see how much of Gunlance can I play where all I do is sit with guard up and just tank everything.
Well, plus there's things that proc off of when the monster is enraged or when it's focused on you. That'd be a fun build. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Speaking of D&D, I need to find a Strixhaven campaign to be going, because I've been spending so much time in the hot tub without it being heated, just and cool water to hydrate the heat. But
Yeah.
now I had an idea for a CEO Prismari student.
Instead of your Allen.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Water.
Hey! I would be down to play. I guess it would depend on what we end up doing there. Once Domains of Dread is done, I think is the timing for when Tanner might start up Wild Beyond the Witchlight. But if there's a campaign, I would be down for that too. We'll see, one or the other.
I think the Atomic Thoughts keeps liking the idea of DMing once things are fully stabilized.
That'd be cool. I think she'd be a good DM. I know she's passionate about the rules. Oh, Black Knight. So are you only going to do a D&D session once every 2 weeks, you said, Cameron, or did I mishear? You misheard. The Waterdeep campaign will go to a... things are flexible, Black Knight. It kind of depends on what things end up happening. At our peak, I was running Rime of the Frost Maiden every other week, and then Waterdeep every other week, and then Tanner had Avernus every other week. And so there'd be a weekend where I would run 2, and a weekend where I would run every weekend. I would run 1, and then I would also play in Avernus every other weekend. Domains of Dread, my intent is to run that weekly as close as possible to try and finish it this year. I would love to start and stop the campaign within a relatively short amount of time, because it's a pretty well-defined campaign in terms of runtime. I don't think I'll be replacing Domains of Dread with something new right away, because that will be the opportunity for someone else to DM, like Tanner or Atomic Fox, or whatever ends up happening there. What I'll be doing is running Domains of Dread once a week, and then doing Waterdeep every other week, or something. However that works out, if that makes sense. Black Knight. All right. Oh, you got a cutscene, Tom.
I do, yeah. I'm watching Theo get appendicitis. It's like not good with all that armor on. It's gonna take like 5 minutes to get off. Oh, that's right.
Oh, I
She
know
got hit
exactly.
earlier, and they mentioned that briefly. And I haven't been playing much of this week, but I remember that. I'm surprised.
Well, that was only a couple days ago.
True. Feels
By
like
one of those Querio.
Brain. I have my brain somewhere. I'm not gonna lie, this heat is making it.
Malbius? What is Malbius? I heard Malbius.
Yeah, like how hot's it been getting, Osprey?
90s, 80s and 90s. The problem is a lot of places in Washington, because like for the longest time the weather would maybe get up into the 80s in the summer. Maybe. It was kind of a big deal when it was starting to get like 80s, 90s, or mid 80s. But so a lot of places don't have AC. So 80, 90 degree weather where a lot of places don't have AC, it's going to be a lot worse. Which is part of the problem we're running into, is there is no AC really, so yeah. I forget the name of it, but somebody got us, well, somebody had some extra cotton scarves. I think the name was Kafka? Something like that. That cool a lot when wet, so that's been helpful.
I gotta talk to Kaguro real quick in the other land. Samura. I got all the names already. Your Dean. Ratha asks, how has non-D&D stuff been going? Interesting. I guess we've already sort of been talking about that a little bit.
Lyft has been going well for the Atomic Fox overall. There was like one bad shift where in 1 hour there was only one passenger, and that passenger was a terrible person. But like overall it's been going pretty solidly for her. I have polished up my resume. I need to update my phone number on it and then send it out to more places again. And yeah, been doing red bubble shop and hiding in water to avoid the heat.
Has apartment hunting started at all yet?
Once the Atomic Fox has been working a week, we're gonna like have our budget set
Gotcha.
so we know what we can do until I can get a job, like, because it's taking a while for me to get any hits.
Yeah.
I keep not having like 1 or 2 skills that they really want, so I'm gonna try. I got set up with a library card, so I'm gonna try to do some LinkedIn learning stuff to try to round that out.
That'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Astalos.
Oh, the Achillean, I think, is rock. Oh no, that's gore armor. The Achillean's rocking some gore armor. Sora is... I can't tell what that is. That looks like Uragon, doesn't it? It can't be Uragon. Is that Gos Harag?
I'll have to check after I've been eaten. I think...
Oh yeah, that's Gos Harag. I can see it on the belt.
Got like the Oni look to it. Ooh, that is cool. I'm gonna bring important stuff because I know I'm not gonna hear it. If I remember Astalos correctly.
Cheryl, yes. We thought the Monster Hunter was gonna die, but no, it was her, Theo.
It was me, Theo. Only JoJo's referencing it.
The Atomic Fox and I were gonna take a hike this weekend, but with the heat wave, we're not sure that's gonna be a thing.
That's fair.
Is it super hot on the West Coast right now? I guess.
Oh yeah.
I guess it always is in the South. I wasn't sure if like the PNW was too.
Right now it's like getting into the 90s.
Ooh,
cutscene. Oh no, Great Roggy. Get out of
We
there.
are not used. We are not used to out here. Like we are not
Yeah.
used.
It's been pretty mild in Cincinnati right now. I mean, things are still not good in general, but right now the weather's been a little temperate with some storms providing cloud cover and stuff. But it's gonna get real hot in a bit.
Right.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
I'm gonna have to
Like-
dual blade.
I mean, GU and this are both on the Switch, but Sunbreak is such an upgrade visually. I love how iridescent
Yeah.
the wings look.
The butterfly wings are so much cooler in this.
Yeah.
That is
So
so
good.
I'm gonna get absolutely wrecked. I can tell.
So one of the weird things about it being so hot is the greater Seattle area is off of the ocean
Yes.
inland. Like we are a northern coast.
Yeah, it's not. You're really not supposed to get that warm. You get so much air current moving through, and oh, well, that's weird. Oh no, that's not weird. That's kind of neat. I didn't realize that.
So it's kind of ironic. We were talking about the heat wave, and I'm playing Let's Go Eevee at the moment, and the Charizard I'm facing just used heat wave.
Tom, if you look to the northeast on the map, do you see a kite up in the air?
Yeah, I think that's one of the buddy spots, maybe? I haven't really been using those much. As much as I love the concept of it, I completely forgot about them. I think that's what that is.
That seems to be like off the map though, but interesting.
Really? Oh, the kite? Oh, wait, are you talking about like on the, not on the map, but like, oh, I think maybe it's Meowston areas or something? Or, no? I think it's just a lone kite by itself.
It's weird. I never noticed that on the map.
I thought you were talking about like the, up right above 2. There's like that little...
Up, like not above 2, but like on screen off the map, not on the map, on screen itself. When I look out, oh fuck, Sora's down.
Oh no, the Heartless. The Heartless. What am I trying to get on? Man, it's been a minute since I've been on this map specifically.
Yeah, I think after stream I'm gonna like put on my swimsuit and go hide.
Gotta stay cool. So we thought this would be a killer Astalos, but he's kicking our Astalos.
Slow clap.
We need like a, not like a swear jar, but like a fun jar.
Oh,
That would be a bad idea to do integration for
dude,
I saw your pun, but I admit I didn't get it because I read it instead of like thinking about pronunciation.
I'm just that flamboyant.
Yeah.
So
My dumb brain needed the U.
yeah, I didn't
But then
think about that.
once someone else said it, I was like, oh no, I just didn't get it. It was very good though.
So we were talking about how well I felt, and my response was, I guess I'm just that flamboyant.
Very good.
If I can think of a design for it, I might make it a replica.
Oh shit, Toby's on. Get on Toby, yeah!
Lightning on lightning, but I'm the faster boy!
Are ya?
I'm fast boy!
I mean, I guess Astalos can die. Not like Valtrack.
Oh. I don't know if you saw me dodge that shit.
I forgot Astalos hasn't hasn't been hurt yet. My brain short circuiting, don't mind me.
Like I asked, what is everyone's favorite armor design so far? I haven't really spent a whole lot of time looking. I usually end up making like, you just search like, you know, best armor set or whatever. I just end up making layered on.
I've been really enjoying the three lords. So I never wore the Garangolm armor because the skills are not good for me, but visually it looks awesome. I had to build it. Right now I'm wearing Lunagaron, and I love Lunagaron. My hunting horn, the Lunagaron hunting horn, is a guitar, and it does a sick-ass metal riff anytime I play a song.
I thought I've been hearing guitar from the hunting horn.
Yeah, that's me, baby. So yeah, right now I'd say Lunagaron, and then I'm sure it'll be Malzeno once we get to Malzeno.
It reminds me of another... Is it like a play on another monster's armor?
It's kind of futuristic-y. Like, it's got a cool visor. It looks like...
It's not quite like Almudron, but it has like a... Not like Beetlejuice, but like, I feel like it's another like monster, kind of like Seregius with like the scales. Almost.
There was a Power Ranger armor set, not like an actual Power Ranger armor set, but an armor set that looked like it was a Super Sentai thing, but I don't remember which monster it belonged to. Osprey, what's been your favorite armor set so far? Fuck! Don't dodge into the hits.
It's hard to say. I kind of like pieces and then throw the pieces together. And it's
have you been mix setting?
Yeah. My current set is a where it's I think a mix of oh wait, no, I went full Nargacuga with my current armor, not purple, but for
How excited are you for Lucent?
I am very
What are you saying, Tom?
We're trying to get the food set.
Oh,
I
gotcha.
don't know where Orange is. I keep getting hit, but I'm not even like focused on his actual movement.
Yeah, the regular Nargacuga armor is still pretty sick. Especially, what are you rocking again? Sword and Shield?
yeah.
So you're probably like close to 100% affinity on your Sword and Shield if you've got, right? Because the Nargacuga Sword and Shield has high affinity, and then the armor set gives you critical eye on top of it. Whoa! Damn it!
That was a big one.
I just got out of hit stun to get smacked by that. Ah!
Yeah, I haven't checked my stats for a minute, and I don't remember off the top of my head, but...
You said you've been playing Pokemon again?
A little bit of Pokemon Let's Go, 'cause I got one of my friends trying it out.
Oh, nice.
Because this one has only really played Pokemon Go, and I was like, Let's Go is like a good at the gym.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it was designed to be, right?
I think so. That's the impression I was given.
Yeah! I don't think
So I did
broken
manage.
yet.
I did manage to sunburn my knees at my feet.
Oh.
Because I was floating in the hot tub in the sunlight, and I didn't realize how long I'd been out there.
Oh, yeah,
And
it'll
my
sneak
knees
up on you.
were-
Especially, I mean, this might be my assumption, but I feel like people don't get sunburned as much in the Pacific Northwest as they would in, like, California or Florida. Right? You're higher up in
Yeah, I'm
longitude, latitude.
the thing is, I'm like pretty much a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, it was blue-headed too.
I needed a heal. I was stunned. I should have said anything.
F's in the chat for Cameron, everybody. Give us your best Twitch emotes. Give us your Sag and your whatever the other ones are. There's like 3 that I know of. I got a cutscene though.
You got a
So that's
cutscene?
Well, I unlocked a cutscene. It was one of those post quest.
Oh, gotcha.
Did you
My
just post an F
failure,
in the
my
chat for
bad.
yourself?
Huh?
You just posted an
I
F in the
did.
chat for yourself. That's very good.
You said to.
Oh, I mean, that's true. I did say that, didn't
I
I?
follow orders.
Hoisted. I'm gonna eat anti. I think maybe that's my lowest resistance right now. No, it's actually I have a 4 under resistance. Do we want to try it again?
Yes.
I'm down for it.
We gotta.
I think it's probably not. I have a paralysis. This'll do. This is fine.
Someone said they're charging. That'll be 50k Zenny.
Yeah, a Zenny donation for every paint.
Alright, time to get serious.
Extremely serious.
Are you capable of being serious, Cameron?
No. I shouldn't lie to myself. I should accept myself for who I am.
I'll post the I'll post the brain.
Why so casual?
Filthy casual.
That doesn't work, Cameron. It's struggling.
I just imagine it's the Joker, but he's wearing like casual Friday clothes. Like he's got like a polo and jeans on. I don't know why that's so funny to me. It's so stupid.
Gotta have empty. Alright, what else is new?
Anyone been watching anything or reading anything?
I saw the new He-Man.
There's a new He-Man?
Yeah.
Like a movie or a...
New to me. Animated series that Netflix did, that the modern He-Man. Modern version, I should say. Same universe, they used some of the same names. They kind of did the same thing that they did with, like, She-Ra, except it's a different art style than She-Ra.
Yes, I think I saw this as well.
Yes, I enjoyed it. There's, like, 2 seasons out?
I think I've just seen the first season. Is the first... No, maybe I've seen both seasons. Is it, is the focus of it actually like a mix between He-Man and his God, I'm so bad with names. Man-at-Arms' daughter? Am I thinking of the right He-Man series? Or am I thinking of a different one?
No. So, the old He-Man series, Shiva was adopted by Man-at-Arms and was sorceress adopted. In this one, Shiva is the new sorceress who's been guided by the old sorceress and is not related to Man-at-Arms. And Ram Man was not in the original.
Is this the one that Kevin Smith worked on? Or
I don't know. I don't know. I just know that it's updated art. It starts off with the main character Adam and Crass, or Castina, depending on who's talking to her, hanging out with Cringer, who is now just old Tiger. In the original, Cringer was like the cowardly tiger. In the new one, he's this old wise tiger.
No, this is very differently. So he's not cowardly at all anymore.
Yeah, he's not. And there's like a whole story about how he got his but
Cool. So it sounds like there's a new He-Man show that this is not what I was thinking of.
I enjoyed it.
I think cool. I'll have to check it out. I think the one I was thinking of is new, but it's still older. It's like 3 years old or 2 years old or something. This is like new.
There was one in like
Yeah, this one I don't know how old it is, but I do know, like, again, the differences between the characters and,
Is it CGI or hand drawn?
CGI.
Okay. Definitely not the show I was thinking of. There was, I think it was last year maybe, there was a hand-drawn show that was essentially a sequel to the original series that came out. And this is something totally new. That's awesome. I didn't realize they were doing that.
Yeah, it's fun. Oh, Cameron, you will appreciate this. Somebody showed me some original things.
Oh, like some G1?
I think it was definitely 80s. Like, it was so 80s and almost.
I'll say this. Here's my controversial Transformers opinion. I am not the biggest fan of the original series. What do you think of it?
Very 80s.
Yes. Super of its time.
Yeah, like, so there was an episode where one of the Transformers somehow, like, turned into a Sebastian blood person, but with, like,
Oh my god, are you talking about the one where Sea Spray bangs a mermaid?
Yes. I saw that one. I saw the two, like, the 3-part, like, pilot thing. And I also saw the one where, Spark ends up in the Transformer X body temporarily, and, like...
Oh, the Frankenstein's monster Transformer body?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the episodes I saw, because, one of my friends really likes Transformers, and was like, I want to watch old Transformers cartoons, because I'm a Transformers.
I dig it.
And then I remembered that Transformers originally came out the same day as my birthday, just a different year.
Yep, 1984.
September 17th, which is also my birthday.
Yeah, I respect Generation 1 Transformers for what it did and what it created. But I would definitely be okay if the franchise was a little more comfortable moving past G1 faster than they do. But I recognize you can't always get what you want.
It almost sounds like kind of like a Gen 1 Pokemon. Got so many fans that only care about like the very first like generation of things that.
I'd say way more severe than Pokemon, because Pokemon at least has generally a new cast for new games. There's like at least 100 new Pokemon in each new game. This would be like if they came out with a new Pokemon game, and what they did was they kept the same 150 Pokemon, but they just drew them differently. Like, Optimus Prime is going to be in every Transformers series until the franchise dies. Because in 1986, for the Transformers movie, the director killed Optimus Prime, and a bunch of whiny little 8-year-olds, including my older brother Darius, this is his greatest crime as a human, cried about it, like whiny little babies, and then Hasbro brought Optimus Prime back, and everyone was like, yay, Optimus Prime is back, and the CEOs and the money-grubbing capitalists at Hasbro were like, okay, we can never kill the main characters, we can never move past them, because to sell toys, we need to have Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Grimlock, and, I don't know, Wheeljack in every series.
The Pokemon Company should have let Ash stay.
Ash should have died at the end of Season 1.
He should have died in the Mewtwo movie.
That's true.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I bet there's probably someone out there trying to argue that.
Yeah, I was about to say, there was an entire point to him.
But Optimus Prime should have for real stayed dead, because the whole movie was about bringing in the next generation. It was, okay, Optimus Prime is no longer the leader, now Hot Rod needs to grow into that leadership role. And then
like
Season 3... Huh?
I thought it like in like other series he has like a test.
Yeah, but it never sticks. It never sticks. Because of what happened for this series. In season 3, Optimus Prime, like, so in the movie between season 2 and season 3, Optimus Prime died. And then in season 3, the arc of season 3 was about Hot Rod learning to grow up and take the mantle of leadership with the help of senior survivors of the big war, like Ultra Magnus and other robots. And then at the end of season 3, or maybe it was, I forget if season 4 was the thing, but they brought Optimus Prime back. And so in every series of Transformers, Optimus Prime generally dies, comes back from the dead, like Jesus. And then maybe he dies permanently in the last episode. David says, talking about the new sci-fi He-Man show, where he give the power to others on Netflix.
Yeah.
'80s rules, but bet he loved the Legacy Metroplex. Nothing G1. I do. I've been okay. So I'll talk about. We'll rant about this for a second. I'm all about it. The new Legacy line has been really entertaining because they've been doing a bunch of non-G1 stuff. They've got Beast Wars in it. They've got Unicron Trilogy in it. I've been very much enjoying that, and I'm looking forward to at San Diego Comic-Con last weekend. They announced the new Transformers TV show, Earthspark, and in that, it's going to be a new cartoon. It's got Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, of course, but it's also got new characters like Twitch and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that.
Wait, Twitch, like there's a Transformer that is like a streaming platform?
No. It's a drone. It turns into like a little hover drone, but it's named Twitch.
I would love if that was a thing. Like in universe, there's like a multicam like OBS robot. This is the first time I've seen a Kahoot outside of like the main lobby.
Yeah.
Boom Headshot says Cam certainly has feelings about Transformers. Do the funny Bayverse rant again.
Boom Headshot, fuck you.
I'm always open for the Bayverse rant. That's good. Quality hashtag content.
I don't even know what Bayverse is.
The Baywatch universe, Cameron's favorite TV show.
Yeah. In the 90s, you don't know this, Osprey, but the Marvel universe is actually modeled off of the Baywatch cinematic universe.
The very extensive Baywatch legacy books that got written out once Disney bought them.
Now I gotta look it up.
Have we met this guy already in this cutscene?
No, this is the doctor we were looking for to cure Fio.
Oh, right. The story in this always completely just goes over my head because I assume it's the same monster research as before. Kind of reminds me of the Happy Mask from Majora's Mask. His big ass backpack box. Stuff hanging off the sides. Ooh. I will take a picture of that. I will just delete it later, but what the hell.
Sweet. Well, the thumbnail came true.
Nice.
Nice.
Hi Hello says, I think the largest media universe is Law and Order because they did so many crossovers with other shows that it's like hundreds of shows big. Yeah, I guess so. Well, there's like that theory about like what was some of the first sitcom crossovers.
Yeah, was it the Chuck Lorre universe that's so big? Like 2.5. I never watched 2.5 Men.
What was it? Family Matters and something else, All in the Family or something. There was like a couple of those shows tied together, and those also spanned out to other shows. There's like some Kevin Bacon like hub show that connects like almost everything together fictionally. But I don't remember what it is. Maybe it's the St. Elmo's thing. Or not St. Elmo, St. Elsewhere? Is that the one? That's the one. Yeah, Law and Order has been, speaking of shows that have been on forever, That show practically writes itself at this point, I imagine.
Well, that's what they do. I mean, it's propaganda.
Right.
They fucking take like a headline from an actual news story and then write a fictional story about it that makes the police look way more competent and benevolent than they actually are.
Yeah. I guess there's a lot of
Yeah.
shows like that, though. Even like, I mean, soap operas are so easy to write.
Oh,
Same thing with, like,
100%.
writing
I mean, I
wrestling
struggle
stories.
with like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think in general is a really great show with some great representation and
Yeah.
like strong character writing and very, very funny. And even inside that show, the writers like acknowledge that it's like cop propaganda in the later seasons, and they were like struggling with how they wanted to like redefine the show towards the end, and it was interesting. It's hard to escape. There's a lot of it's just culturally ingrained in America, I think.
And
Yeah.
that stuff's been happening even before like streaming was big too. I mean, that was like syndication on TV. How that stuff got big because it was easy to write that content and always have new
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
come out. So it just kind of explodes once we have streaming services that need it constantly.
Ooh, Master Sushi wants to talk to me. Get 3 buddies to skill memory of 8.
I'm just kind of skimming through the text cutscenes here. Chat, sorry if this is either too fast or too slow.
Do we want to let someone else pick? Whoever's watching, if you're hunting with us, you can pick the next quest.
Okay, so Dr. Guy makes medicine that stops this virus.
Yep.
I guess it'll work the same as it did back in the old days.
They mentioned Frenzy here, so we finally, like, here's the link.
Right.
They're saying... They're not saying this is the Frenzy virus, but they're saying that it's similar.
That's what I was going to say. It sounded like that's what they were talking about, but Malzeno wouldn't have it, right? It would have to be...
Right. And I think that's where we end up hunting Gore, where they're like, oh, well, this is similar to Frenzy virus. Go find a Gore Magala.
Yeah, and then we'll use that to...
And we'll study it, you know, similarity.
I hope they bring back... What was that in 4? The main cowboy captain guy had that rainbowy, like, fluorescent shard. I hope they bring that back. I forget what that ultimately tied to, but... I like the look of that thing.
Actually, I don't want to do that first. Let's take a look at the optionals.
I'm down to hunt whatever, really. Now that we've got Astalos down.
You want to do another Astalos to get some more parts? Because I definitely want to build that armor.
Yeah, why not? I might as well. I'll do chain credit eventually at some point.
Oh, speaking of D&D, if anybody knows any good evil cults in Forgotten Realms that would particularly love to murder an Azamar?
I didn't hear what the noun was in there. That's
Cult?
So, yeah, a cult that would, like, go out of their way to try to kill an Azamar.
So there's, like,
Because
plenty
the
of
Azamar
cults. Ooh, this is Seregios.
I guess maybe one cult to like maybe one of the Dead 3. Do you remember the Dead 3, Tom?
It's
From
Bane,
Baldur's Gate?
Bane, Ball, and Merkel. I had to look this up. So
Which-
one's the god of death, one's murder, and the other I think is just like tyranny.
Is Baal the god of murder?
I want to say yes. Ball is the one that's like just the explicit violence. Merkel I think is death, and Bane I think is the tyranny one.
Well, let me Google it, because I'm trying. So, the reason I asked is I am trying to flesh out the backstory for Fire a bit now that, like, Fire's been able to be around for a while. And I want to, like, flesh out some of the details that weren't there before. And, like, I knew he had awoken his Divine Soul Sorcery powers when he was attacked by a cultist who wanted to kill him for being an Azamar, before he even knew he was an Azamar, because he blamed... Once he discovered he was a Divine Soul Sorcerer, he just thought all the weird shit was because of that.
Where was he from originally?
I don't think I specified beyond a fishing village, because I didn't know Forgotten Realms well enough to say which village. Yeah, Ball is the murder one.
So you
Ye-
could do ball. The other idea I would have is if your intention is like if you're planning on using him mostly for this specific campaign,
mhm.
the other thing would be I could do a little reading and try and find something that will pop up in the future
Yes,
um,
that would be
to
amazing.
tie in. Um, like we're pretty close to the end of Rime of the Frost Maiden, but if you had desire to do it, I would be open to after this campaign is done. Like we'd be done with Adventures League stuff, but I would be open to running the Zorventroth stuff. And if that's the case, then my gut would say the Red Wizards. You would want to tie his backstory to the Red
Okay,
Wizards
yeah.
somehow.
Okay.
Plenty of cults that you could have do it if you're looking for one that's like already pre-written to be like.
And one that'll be involved in future events
Yeah.
in the similar setting.
I had that same
'Cause,
thing
like-
where I can write any of them, but I wanted to pick one that's
What I've learned is essentially Rime of the Frost Maiden could lead into, if people wanted to, and maybe there'd be a break in between, but could lead into the Dream of Red Wizards, which takes place in Icewind Dale. It starts in Icewind Dale, and then it journeys. The campaign goes to the Far Realms
Yeah.
Okay.
and does
Yeah,
some
so-
Spelljammery stuff.
I want to play Fire as long as absolutely possible because I have fallen in love with this character and I want to see where his story goes all the way. So yeah, I would like that's part of why I want to flesh his backstory out is to breathe even more life into this character because I have just fallen in love with him because I've gotten to play him enough to actually build that relationship. And I love this character. So I'm trying to like flesh out the backstory, especially as I learn more about the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, I'd be down. And it's
Yeet.
because we're doing Icewind Dale, like I'd definitely be trying. I find that like players find satisfaction when the backstory ends up having payoffs in the campaign instead of being like a totally separate thing. So that's where I would be thinking of like, okay, with the campaign we have left, right now a lot of Vire's Guiding Spirit stuff has been tied to Auril. Because that's like one of the big bads of this campaign. But then if you wanted other stuff, to me the potential would be tying him into what might happen next stuff, which would probably not necessarily be the same party. Like I imagine Abriel would probably not continue after Rime of the Frost Maiden is done, because my intention would be to stop following Adventures League rules at that point.
Yeah.
Like the commitment I made was to run the Rime of the Frost Maiden hardcover per Adventures League rules, and I will stick to that. But then I don't think I want to tie myself down past that point.
Yeah, 100%. I'm definitely yeah, and I think Atomic Fox would be interested in playing more without some of the Adventures League stuff, because like having to sit down and figure out, oh hey, do I actually have this spell because the rules don't actually say, I think was very frustrating.
Yeah.
Because like nowhere says, hey, these spells are restricted, but nowhere says you can either, so you just don't know.
Yeah, it's basically instead of having a document that says this stuff isn't allowed, they say these things are allowed, and then looking at the date of the document, you're left wondering, okay, well, was this written before this book came out? And if so, what does it mean for the book? Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think that kind of pulled her out of the game for a bit while she went, oh, I guess like have to sit down and figure out if this spell is actually something her character can have.
Yeah. 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 It is. Oh shit. Somehow I survived that. Embarrassing. So yeah, my plan, and this would be up to the group. My plan would be after we just finished chapter 5. There's 7 chapters in the book. So we're kind of getting to the end. When we're done, I would take a break, but keep the characters and stuff in ready, and then after a period of time, maybe with some new players and characters and returning characters and players, say, okay, we're going to pick back up with essentially the season 10 adventures that you were doing, just outside of Adventurers League's restrictions.
Right. But yeah, I think I'm trying not to put words in the atomic boxes, but I think both the atomic box and I would be in.
Yeah. And I think Tanner would be too. I think John would be also. I know he was struggling with the Adventures League stuff. Like, he was reading through everything, and he was definitely like, I don't get why they do things a certain way. I'm like, I don't either, but I made the commitment that the campaign was going to be run per these rules from the beginning, and I got to keep that commitment.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's also like, I mean, it's the original player group, which has changed over time, Tom. The original player group, like, everyone signed up knowing that that was going to be the rule set. So, from my mind, it has to be a unanimous decision. Everyone has to agree that we are not going to follow those rules anymore. And there's a particular player who is a big Adventure League person, and he joined because this character was going to be Adventures League legal. So I don't want to take that away from him, being that I made the commitment that that's how it's going to run.
Yeah.
But then once the campaign's over, my commitment's done.
Yeah, I totally understand that also because like the campaign structures are clear. Even if you're playing an AL space, they're still in the
Yeah.
If you play a few levels into it, that means people have been restricted from spells they might ordinarily already have.
Yeah. But I have been having a lot of fun running Adventures League content as one-shots without the restrictions. So essentially, the Domains of Dread is a mix of Adventures League stuff and other one-shots. But I haven't been like following the Adventures League rules because fuck that. I really like the idea of finishing out season 10 so I can be like, I ran all of Icewind Dale and then lead it into Dream of Red Wizards. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And then the other thing that I will do eventually would be I want to run the season 9 Adventures League stuff, Tom, which is all the side. It's it goes from level 1 to 20, and it's a bunch of adventures that take place in Avernus. It was their tie-in to the Descent into Avernus campaign.
Okay. That would be interesting.
And I will 100% require every character that does the party for that stuff. They all have to make holy-based characters. Because my idea for this campaign would be the Hell Riders. It would be a party of Hell Riders.
What's Hell Riders?
What are Hell Riders?
Hell Riders, if I remember correctly, Hell Riders are sort of like a band, but they are a group that I think are like protectors of Elturel.
Yes.
I know they were based in the city of Elturel at the time that Avernus happened.
Oh fuck!
They've cameo appearances and other things too that are, I think, I don't recall exactly. Hell Riders are, they're known to be like one of the, I think, like, the Sword Coast a little bit of fandom.
Yes. They're a knightly order that is mostly clerics and paladins and stuff, dedicated to the Holy Light, protecting Elturel, and the Angel Zerial was the founder.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, very part of it.
They have a big presence in Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. You meet some right away in Baldur's Gate. There's a girl, I forget her name, but she's like a squire essentially. And then you interact with more and more of them throughout the adventure. But my intention would be to do like, it's essentially what was happening while the main party was doing the, like while Nate's campaign is happening, this other group of holy knights was going on their own quest and doing other stuff.
Okay.
That'd be interesting.
I actually already have an idea for a character for that.
Oh, 100% I know you do.
Cheryl, if you're still in chat, or for anyone that's in chat still that is playing D&D, how is everyone else's D&D content going? I know that's something we don't turn on its head a lot. It's the question of what people are doing in D&D.
Yeah. What's your character ID, Osprey?
Celestial Warlock, and then probably Azamar, just to double up on that whole divine thing. And basically it's like, cool, like, specifically made a path to get more power to be able to do what, all go out to do. Except he knew from a young age that he was an Azamar and he was actually, like, in his time doing the most like, the most evil was like the entire point of the medical and
I dig it.
Cheryl says Cameron made us kill dogs. Wow.
You brought them back to life.
Boy, I sure am glad I'm not in that campaign.
Yeah. I might have to balance like what person they're for after I saw that. Because I don't do pet animal death very well.
No, I mean Osprey is now in that campaign. Well, currently observing. Doesn't you haven't done a character yet. They're not dogs. This is the Barovian play-by-post campaign. And I didn't make them do anything. They were in the quivering forest, and oh fuck! I'm just sucking it tonight. This is awful.
Also, if you hear weird water sounds over the headset, that's because I'm already in the hot tub. I just couldn't handle the heat any longer without it. And I have a wireless headset on, so I'm just keeping my head above water and calling it.
Gotcha. So the party is currently the play-by-post campaign. The party started out in Flan. I made sure everyone's characters have strong ties to the city of Flan, and this family of travelers called Dur came through the outskirts of Flan, and some of them have been accused of crimes, and all of them have gone missing. So the starting quest is basically recover this family, get everyone back and safe, and figure out why they did what they did or what actually happened. So far, the party has recovered one, the youngest child, stole, essentially drugged an elven wizard lady, and stole her magic wand. They got the boy back safely. And then they're going after the oldest of the family, who wandered off into the quivering forest. And they have been waylaid by elves. And I don't want to give spoilers because Cheryl's in chat, but the elves, like, canonically, they hunt alongside these mastiff dogs called Kushi. They're hunting hounds. The party chose, at no point did they say they were doing non-lethal damage. So yes. Until someone, I think it was Cheryl, learned how, like, she tried animal handling, because I was giving hints that the Kushi were 100% uncomfortable with their elven masters doing this attack for reasons that I don't want to spoil. But the party was like, oh, we'll just kill these Kushi. And then once they figured out what was happening, the cleric did save dead on all the Kushi, so they're okay.
Oh,
They're
nice.
okay.
So it all worked out in the end.
It's more just I tend to be very that's like a thing for me. So I was kind of watching that, kind of trying to figure out where it was gonna go, and I was like, right now I just have a bit of a block on my character, I'm trying to figure out what character would make sense, and I haven't quite figured out a character that quite works for this one yet, which is why I haven't.
Do you want to brainstorm a bit while you're in the tub?
I don't have a handy reference to the requirements at the moment because I'm in the hot tub, but I can brainstorm ideas if there's something you want.
I think I used to make it simple, I used the same exact requirements I did for Domain of Dread. So it's just like...
There was like a particular thing about like stress levels.
Stress levels. Oh yeah, that'll happen once you go into Barovia.
Well, you said there had to be a thing on the character that had to do with the stress levels when you make the character.
Oh, they need a deep-seated fear.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out what to make that fear without like accidentally like screwing myself over.
Well, the whole point is you're not accidentally, you are purposefully screwing yourself over. So
no, I'm talking about on a player level of not doing something and then accidentally having it like connect too deeply, and like having a lot of feed between the character's stress and my stress is what I'm really trying to avoid.
In real life, do you have any fear of vampires? You could always go back to like old classics.
Ooh, I could make it cool. Ooh, I had a thought. What if this character is terrified of becoming a vampire?
Ooh, I like that. Losing their self through undeath or thraldom.
Yes. Let's roll with that. That will be the fear. Let's see. I can't do Simic Hybrid because that's technically
Ravnica.
A different setting. Yeah, that's a Ravnica thing.
Yeah, so I mean, in terms of source books, it'll be all the Faerun source books. So no Ravnica, Theros, or Strixhaven stuff, or Eberron.
Yeah, I don't really use the Theros stuff a whole lot. I'm trying to think of which realm the Genasi are, because Genasi can always...
Genasi or Faerun? That's Faerun.
Ratha asks, what are we hunting now?
I guess, Tom, that's up to you, right?
We could do Seredios. Haven't done Seredios yet.
Ooh, yeah, Steve!
So, okay. Maybe Genasi. Genasi's on the table. I'm playing a team currently, and I don't... You know what? I should play a human, because I rarely play a human. And that would add to the vampire thing.
True.
Ooh, no, I should do a half-elf.
We do not have a half-elf. We have 2 humans and a halfling and a gnome right now.
Okay, I'll probably go half-elf then.
Although the gnome is very much like... Rob is playing the gnome like he's Smeagol. He's like a weird little gremlin.
What if D&D was about a weird little guy?
So, what I'm hearing is a feral gnome is the
essentially, yeah, a feral gnome ranger.
Portals and Loka, whatever, are in the area, right? I would have I don't want to say gimmicky race.
Oh my god, a turtle vampire would be so funny.
It would take it forever.
2 turtles, where are you going?
Do turtles actually talk that slow? I don't know much about them other than like I see that like the single off races on like the D&D Beyond website a lot.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know much about their lore. I've never actually read up on it.
They tend to die really young. Like once they have kids, pretty much they die. The Atomic Fox was looking at one at one point. So let's see. So half elf who has a fear of losing himself through fear or through undeath / vampire brawl. That could probably extend to becoming a werewolf too. Pretty much just anything where he loses all sense of self. Which ties in well to the half elf actually, because he probably spent most of his life figuring out who he was, and then doesn't want to risk that getting, or doesn't want that taken back. Then the question is, what class?
Dog. Sorry, I was talking about Monster Hunter.
So honestly, I know like you have joked in the past that you tend to play sorcerers, but a charisma-based class might be great for this campaign, because currently we have 2 druids, a cleric, and a ranger. So we got plenty of wisdom, and no one is good at persuading anyone to do a goddamn thing.
But that's the best
so,
part.
what I'm hearing is I need to play a bard to become the face of the party.
You don't need to be a bard. That's the nice thing about 5th edition. Every class can be the face now. Paladins are charisma, warlocks are charisma, bards are charisma, sorcerers are charisma.
I try to hammer this home every time we talk about this, but hey chat, listen. In 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, you don't need to play the RPG MMO roles. You can just have everyone be a fucking paladin. You don't always need a healer depending on the context of your campaign.
That's very true.
Thanks, chat. Because
So,
people talk constantly about it and it bothers me so much. Go ahead.
I was more thinking bard to just kind of lean heavily in. Ooh, we don't have a paladin, do we?
Either one would be great. If you're thinking bard, like, there's all sorts of fun colleges. Like, you could do College of Spirits if you wanted to, like, talk to your ancestors and all that stuff, or
real quick, I should say as a
play up the
disclaimer,
spooky, scary stuff.
you don't need the MMO roles, but like if you are just playing for survivability, yeah, that makes sense. But it's just I play with a lot of groups who believe like, well, someone's gotta be the healer, someone's gotta do this. I'm like, well, you can have someone do like off healing or off tanking. It's not necessarily that. But
and this party is already like everyone gets a free feat. I'm pretty sure all of them took some variation of the healer feat or something similar. Like this, and it's 2 druids and a cleric. Like this party has heals for days.
Yeah, okay. So like, and like, I'm not saying that having balance is bad either. Like that's good. Like you don't have to have like a dedicated healer. But I do like that people were thinking about well-roundedness for themselves. I think that's a very interesting thing. Even when you have like too much of one thing, I think that makes for a very interesting mechanic.
I think we can probably start without Hammond.
Okay, I'm not sure if that was someone from chat or not, but that wasn't a sub tweet or at anyone or anything like that. I know people in real life and some people I've seen talking online about that, and it's like that's understandable for like a game where it's designed for balance, but there's a lot of shit in D&D that's just completely up to chance. Someone gets bad rolls and they end up dying. Someone just keeps doing really good even though they're terrible at something, etc., etc.
I might lean into the bard to kind of emphasize the identity thing, because as a bard, he would have had to like carefully craft his image as far as how he is perceived, and like really figure out who he was to be able to be a good bard. So that can play nicely into the same theme for the
Oh fuck! Sergio's fucked up that Rathian.
Cheryl says, threat of transformation through curse, vampirism, undead will be plenty of opportunity. A bard would be great. Plus,
Oh, for
he
like
could be,
storytelling opportunity? Yeah, Cheryl.
yeah, a bard would be great. He could be vain and not want to get undead ugly. I like that. I think coming up with flaws for a character can be hard sometimes because people don't thinking about the flaws someone has kind of like it doesn't seem very fun. But I think if you lean into like the negative aspect of knowing like you're gonna get bad rolls and bad things are gonna happen, I think flaws can be kind of fun because it kind of makes you think about how do I play this character, not just trying to be like the best version of myself, but like a person that's good at things, but also maybe bad at things and doesn't realize it until they have to overcome some kind of challenge.
Yeah, the most fun the most fun flaws, like the most fun character I've had has been Ami, who is like riddled with flaws.
I love Ami because he's so enterprising, and because of that, like I will say Ami's brought a lot of good to the party though as well. But yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah,
where
you
it's
never
like,
want to
flaws
like
can be pros and cons.
be an anchor around everyone's neck.
No, like I know plenty of stories of people who want to play like the foolhardy, stubborn person, and I think that I like the concept of that as a character. But there's plenty of stories about people being like, yeah, and then he just kept walking away and wouldn't like listen to anybody because he's trying to play the character trait so hard that you're kind of like disrupting the group. I think if you're aware that your flaw, has its limits, like that you are going to be tied together as a party, you can make it work. But if you're trying like too hard to like do something that might be disruptive to the group, I think that can be a bit of an issue.
Yeah, you need to embrace your flaw in a way that still moves the action forward and supports the party. Like Ami, for example, is super greedy, but I've focused his greed mostly on minions because that way I'm not like trying to steal everyone's magic items and shit all the time,
Yeah.
Right.
Or Ami's like kind of cowardly, so I built him in a way that he engages in combat from a distance because I have to engage in combat. I can't like avoid that, otherwise I'm being a dick to the rest of the party.
Or in some scenes, like there's plenty of like shows and anime and stuff where like the first episode, one of the main characters does not like the other characters and tries really hard to get away, but by the end of the episode, they end up together. And I think there's a way you can write that fiction narratively together as a group, as long as everyone is aware, like, hey, this character's gonna try to get away.
Oh, fuck me.
They fundamentally do not care for the party, but as long as everyone's aware that, oh, well, by the end of this, we will be tied together. I think you can do that. That's kind of more like collaborative story. I think, awareness helps.
I think the main flaw I'm actually going to lean towards with this character is the fact that he doesn't want to change himself at all. Because he doesn't want to have to do more rediscovery because he thinks he knows who he is. And doesn't want to have to change his sense of who he is. Therefore, he doesn't want to, change him.
I like that a lot. So, when he's confronted with the reality of Barovia, like the fact that, oh, there is this whole other world, that the rules here are different than what I have in my world. That'll be a really interesting character moment. Hey, Ollie, what's up, buddy? I might have to play after this hunt to take him outside real quick.
That's fine. We don't have to go for the full 2 hours either if you want to.
Oh, that's true. What time is it?
About 8. 8 o'clock our time. That's fine.
Yeah. Time to die. The good news is it didn't count. I did eat for insurance because I realized that I had not been on my game today.
I always forget to do that for Steve fight. Man, Steve is bigger. Maybe that was just a 3DS.
But yeah, it's going to take a little bit to get used to playing this character, so it'll be a little rusty at first. But I think once I get into the character, that's when those moments will really start to be a thing.
Yeah, so the next question will be, when do you want to get introduced into the campaign? Because there's 2 opportunities, basically. You could get introduced to the party at level 1 in Flan, or nearby Flan, or you could
Ooh.
Ollie, buddy. You could get introduced at level 1 in Flan, or, and I think that could happen in the next few weeks, like week or 2 weeks. Or if you wanted to wait longer, you could get introduced in Barovia. But that would probably be like 2 months from now.
Kind of wish I had my sub class right out the gate. That's okay. So slight pet peeve. I kind of wish you could choose your subclass earlier.
I think Paladin get them at like 2, but that's...
Yeah, certain classes get them at different levels.
Yeah,
sure
like
someone
cleric,
has, like,
you
a-
just
If you're a Hexblade, I think you just get that at the beginning, right?
Yeah, there are certain like...
so like clerics, sorcerers, stuff like that, get their subclasses like at level 1. Some get them at level 2, and some get them at level 3. Like Warlock gets some of their Warlocks choose their pre-trend at level 1. And then they choose which kind of then they choose between tactics blade, tactics arcane, and whatnot a little later. But yeah, because Bard's one of those that they choose their college at level 3.
Yeah.
But I'll just kind of roll with it. It might give me more time to decide which bardic route to take the characters. So yeah.
Plus, it'll be a cool role-playing opportunity because in this campaign, I'd like to role-play level ups and like the class choices a little more strongly. So it'll give me time to like lay the foundation for the mechanical path your character takes if you want to join now.
Okay. Is everybody else level 1 or?
Yeah, the whole. So it's play by post has been going very slowly. They really, if this was at a table, I think they would have played for the equivalent of about an hour, maybe hour and a half.
I guess that is the nature of that. I'm not sure how... I mean, I guess it depends on the group, right? It depends on time or
Yeah.
abilities that you
So I'm not doing experience or anything. You would level up at the same time everyone else levels up. It's just they haven't done a whole lot yet. They've only... There are the first quest, which would be the first level up, involves rescuing 4 members of the Rise family of Pure, and they've done 1 so far.
Okay.
But they've also been, this has been a group that in general has been enjoying the role play a lot. So they've been enjoying, like, I told from the beginning that, hey, we're going to start in Flan, but then pretty quickly we'll get to Barovia. But the party is really enjoying hanging out in Flan, basically. And, like, if that's what they want to do, that's, like, I'm not going to stop them.
You could do, like, a party of just, like, 4 ordinary people. Because, you know, it's always expected you're a hero in D&D, but I think it's
Yeah. A level zero character, essentially.
Yeah. Well, not even just that, but just, like, 4 people who aren't heroes. They're just regular people. Like, you have all the same, like, skills. You're just mostly commoners. And it's more just about, like, doing mundane shit. I mean, it would be a very, like, niche thing. I don't know why. I meant to hit him more. But I've always thought it'd be kind of funny to do something where it's like, yeah, you don't actually have, like, any powers. There's not really any, you know, major threats, but there is some sort of, like, plot that is a challenge for everyday people. Like
I dig it.
I like the
Oh
weird
no. We need a new mayor.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we got a campaign for the
And then
mayor.
there's shenanigans.
Yeah. My cart
There's
broke.
definitely systems designed for that, though.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of homebrew stuff, too, I'm sure.
There's a system that's based off of the whole RPG is you're not playing an adventure, you're playing a shopkeep.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of, like, rules light systems, but that's... I was thinking in terms of, like, in D&D, but I think those rules light systems are a good, like, start for how to adapt that to... You know, if you wanted to do that with people who only really know the D20 system, could totally look at some of those games.
Oh yeah.
But I like this system a lot.
That's so much for Pathfinder.
Someone said they were gonna run it on
Yeah, I'm surprised
Discord.
that, we didn't do that. I would love if there's any Shadowrun DMs out there. Please teach me how to run that in a way that is not, you know, the length of playing all of EVE Online. I would love to play Shadowrun, but I don't have the time to calculate explosions for 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't think I have interest in actually playing Shadowrun, but Pathfinder would be
I
cool.
just want to
But
get
it's one of those.
system. I don't really care about Shadowrun specifically.
It's one of those things where I recognize how kind of unfair it is to ask someone else to DM because of the different effort level that takes versus playing.
Yeah, I've kind of found there are some people who prefer to DM. I'm more inclined to ask that. And then there are some people who have the attitude of anybody can DM and DM well enough. But I don't feel like that's really like some people just do not enjoy DMing. And if they do not enjoy DMing, why force them to DM? Like
Right. Well, it's what. So I definitely take the second view. It's not that I would force anyone to DM, but I'm definitely like, if you want to play something and there's no one around you to DM, guess what? If you have the desire enough, you're gonna like. That's just how I don't particularly enjoy DMing.
I don't enjoy DMing. I just have like 8 concurrent things going on at any given time.
Well, because I want to play a lot of D&D, and all my friends are lazy assholes.
Well, now to be fair, we've had at least like how many people sign up for? We have had a lot of people sign up for I think DMing specifically. Right? I haven't kept track of the number.
Yes, I've been able to, and that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, where like when I'm done with Domains of Dread, I'm not necessarily going to replace that with something right away because now I have built a system to allow me to not have to DM.
You don't have to do it anymore to have that same level of tabletop content.
It is 5:05.
yeah, so we were looking at going to my friend and I were looking at going to a local pool to like actually get to swim.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think we're gonna call this a stream here anyway.
Yeah, that works for me. We got a lot of new monsters done.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed hanging out with y'all and talking about D&D and stuff. And yeah.
Yeah, it was a good stream. A good Thursday night stream. It's been nice to play Monster Hunter more than one night a week. 'Cause I have not been playing as much as I should.
I've been busy and stuff.
That's true.
Yeah, work is important. Also, keep your eyes out for more designs on the Redbubble stuff. I'm going to try to at least do one design a day. I've already done today, but at least one design a day is my goal. So, keep your eyes peeled.
That's good.
Yeah, hopefully, if you haven't had a chance, check out Osprey's shop. He's doing cool stuff on Redbubble. The link is in our chat. If you like any designs, so support someone in the community and get some cool merch. And yeah, check it. Danny took this week off, but I believe starting next week he will actually be doing a Monster Hunter themed art stream. He's going to be doing something that I'm not going to spoil, but it'll be a fun one.
Forgot about that. That's going to be nice. Yeah. Well, thanks everyone in chat for hanging out. As always, the links to our Discord is in the chat. And check out Osprey's Redbubble store if you can. We will be back. I think next Monday is the next live stream plan.
Yep.
Usually. And then maybe next week we'll do some other stuff. I need to play Elden Ring at some point, and the only way I think I'm going to finish it is if I force myself to stream it. So I might start taking over Tuesdays again, doing some solo stuff.
I'll hang out with you for that when I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can switch that one around too. All right, yeah. So we're gonna call that a stream. Thanks everyone for hanging out. we will talk to y'all next week. See ya.
See you next time.